you cannot use a paper that has lines on it, okay, for writing an application. So if you are writing it down, so you have to take a paper that is blank, that is plain, which does not have any lines on it, okay. And if you are typing it, you have to type it on Microsoft Word, okay. Now you have to start with 2, okay, you have to start with 2, then you have to give a comma, then you need to write down the designation of the person, okay, to whom you are writing. You need to write down the designation of the person. Suppose you are writing this application to the head of the department, then you have to mention it to the head of the department, to the principal, to the dean, okay. You need to use the along with it, okay. Sometimes you might also write the name depending on the situation, depending on the uh, reason of writing, depending on the purpose of writing. So you can write the name after this, okay. To suppose Dr. Mala Sharma. If you are writing the name, after that you have to write the designation of the person, okay. If you are writing the name, you have to write down the designation of the person after that, okay. Is it clear? After that you have to write the name of the department, okay. You have to write the name of the department of the person, then the name of the organization, then you have to write down the place where the organization is located, okay. Do not forget to mention the place where the organization is located. You can also add the pin code, okay. You can also add the pin code of that particular area. After that, you're supposed to leave a line, okay. You're supposed to leave a line and then write down the date. You have to leave a line and write down the date. After writing down the date, again leave a line and then write down the subject. What is the subject? It's the purpose of your application. You have to write down the purpose of your application. Now, the subject should not be too long. It should be concise. It should be short, and at the same time it should be informative, okay. You must write your purpose here. You must write your purpose as the subject, okay. After writing the subject, you have to again leave a line. Then you can start with dear sir or dear ma'am, okay. Then after that you have to give a comma, then again leave a line, start with the letter. You have to state the reason of writing the application. You have to write down the reason of writing the application. You should try not to write a lot of things, especially when it's a leave application. You're not supposed to write a lot of things, okay. According to the requirement, you're supposed to add the information or the details, but it should not be too long. It should not be of 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages. It's a letter, it's an application. It's an application, isn't it? So that's why you are not supposed to write down a lot of things. Again, you must be concise. That means short and informative at the same time. So if you are applying for any kind of leave, so you have to write down the reason for applying the leave and you have to mention the date, okay. And this is another line that should be mentioned whenever you're requesting something, okay. Whenever you are requesting then this is another line that should be mentioned. Your kind consideration would be highly appreciated. All right. So this is a line that will help you to build a good impression. Okay, so this is a line that will show your uh, politeness, so that's why do not forget to add this line whenever you are requesting for something. Okay, after you have written down the body, then again you have to leave a line and write down thanking you. Okay, thanking you. Then in the next line, yours faithfully or yours sincerely, then your name. If you are writing the letter to someone whom you know, to your boss or to the head of the department or to the dean, okay, then if it's if it's an official one, then you need to also mention your designation. Okay, if it's an official one, you need to mention your designation, or department, and again the name of the organization. Okay, so generally, when you request something, you're definitely requesting it to your senior, to your boss, isn't it? So, in that case, you have to mention the name of your department, the name of your your designation if you are working. Okay, if you are a student, then you have to mention your class. You all are the students of BBA third semester. So here, if you are writing this leave application, then you have to write down the name. After that, you have to mention your course, BBA third sem. Then you have to write down the name of your department. Then you have to write down the name of the university. Okay, so these are the things that you need to include when you write a leave application. Now you might be thinking, I had already taught you how to write an application, how to write a letter, or how to write uh, an email, isn't it? So I am repeating it again because I have seen some of you could not write a letter properly, an application properly. Okay, that's why I have again explained it to you all. Okay, here after two, you have to mention the designation of the person. So some of you had written an application to me. Okay, so you have written to Jayashree ma'am, BBA third semester. Okay, so BBA third semester, I'm not a student of BBA third semester, isn't it? You're supposed to write my designation. Okay, you're supposed to write the designation, and if you are unaware of the designation, you can ask, and it's it's fine even if you do not include the designation. If you are confused or unaware of the designation, whatever information you have with you, whatever correct information you have with you, you need to mention that. You're not supposed to write something that is not at all relevant. Okay, when you are writing a letter to me or when you're writing an application to me, so if you are writing like to Jayashree ma'am, BBA third semester, that means I am a student of BBA third semester, which is not correct, isn't it? I am not a student of BBA third semester, isn't it? So if you are unsure, then you can just write down the name of the organization. If you are unsure regarding the designation of the person, if you are unsure regarding the department of the person, then you can just write down, you can directly write down the name of the organization. You know that where I work, isn't it? I work at some downtown university, isn't it? So you can directly write that if you're unaware, if you're unsure regarding the designation, and if you're unsure regarding the department. Okay, but do not write any such thing which is incorrect, okay, for your future purpose as well, for uh, later on too, if you're unsure regarding someone's designation or someone's department, you can directly write the name of the organization where he or she is currently working. If you're unsure, try to find it out. I would basically suggest you to find out the designation and the department of the person to whom you are writing the application or the letter, okay. And if you're unsure, then do not include it. But when you write an application, it's good if you include the designation of the person, if you include the department of the person, okay. So it's necessary when you write an application. But when you are unsure, suppose you have no idea, suppose you're not being able to find it out, then just do not write it. Do not write anything that is incorrect. Is it clear, students? Now is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the subject and the body of the letter will change according to the purpose. The body and the subject of the application will definitely keep on changing according to the purpose of the application, according to the purpose. So whenever you are writing any leave application, so when you are applying for a leave, okay, when you are applying for a leave and when you are informing that you are absent on this particular day, the subjects will be different. So when you are informing that you are absent on this particular day due to this reason, when you are submitting the application afterwards, afterwards, okay, then your subject is going to change. Leave due to illness or reason of absence, okay. So the subject totally depends upon the purpose of your application. So for leave application as well, so you might take the leave, you might take the leave, you might apply for the leave beforehand, or sometimes when there's some kind of emergency, you might apply for the leave afterwards as well. So in these two situations, the subject and the body will be a little different. You'll be stating the reason of your leave, but it will be written in a different way, because the letter that you are writing, the application that you're writing to apply for the leave, you that will basically you are requesting to grant leave, isn't it? And you know why, and you know the reason, isn't it? So you have to mention the reason, you have to mention, you have to request the other person to consider your leave. When you have already taken the leave and you are informing about your absence or about your leave later on, then it will be a little different, where you have to inform that on this particular day I was absent due to this particular reason, due to an emergency. So according to the purpose, you need to change the subject and change the body. Other things, the format, it remains the same, and I would suggest you to write down everything on the left hand side, to start everything, to write down everything on the left hand side. This is the standard format, okay. So everything should be on the everything should be started from the left hand side, okay. So this is the standard format. The format remains the same for all the application. The subject and the body will keep on changing. And regarding faithfully and sincerely, I think I had explained you earlier. Today again I would like to say you, if you have forgotten. So faithfully is written when you know the person, okay. Whenever you're writing a letter to a person whom you know, then you can use the word faithfully, because faithfully is related to trust, loyalty. Okay, when you're writing a letter to someone whom you don't know personally, then you're not supposed to use the word faithfully. Instead of that, you can use the word sincerely in order to show your sincerity. Okay, so leave application, of course, you're not going to write it to someone whom you do not know personally. Of course, write it to someone whom you know. So in that case, in case of a leave application, you can definitely use the word faithfully. But whenever you are writing any other letter, suppose whenever you are writing a job application, so in that case, you can write sincerely. You can use the term sincerely. Okay, whenever, and in case of a job application, whenever you are writing a job application, you're writing it to an unknown person, isn't it? So, in that case, you're not supposed to mention your department, your designation. It's not necessary. Okay? If you're writing a leave application, it's necessary because you're writing to someone of your own department, isn't it? If you're writing any other letter to a person whom you know, then especially official letters, then you need to definitely mention your designation, you need to definitely mention the name of your department. But in case you are writing an application to an unknown, okay, to an unknown, uh, especially job applications, in that case you're applying for a job, for a different job. Even if you are currently working somewhere, you're applying for some other job, so you do not have to mention your designation. Official letters must consist, must have your designation, must have your the name of your department. But other than that, regarding job applications, you're not supposed to mention the name of your organization or the name of your department. All right, so I hope now y'all are not going to make mistakes when you write any kind of application. Okay, it will remain, the format is going to remain the same. The subject and the body will change. As I have said that the subject and the body will change, but the format remains the same. Okay, and do not give any incorrect information. Do not ever give any incorrect information. And if you are enclosing, if you are sending a mail, I had told you the format is a little different. I had already shown you. I had also shared the copy with you all. And the format is a little different. So there's a designated format for it. Now, if you are writing a mail, so if you need to attach some files, then you are supposed to mention it, isn't it? So similarly, when you're writing a letter and you're enclosing some other, when and you're sending some other documents with your letter, so you have to mention it. Okay, please find the enclosures, following enclosures. Okay, so this is how you need to mention. Even if you are writing a letter, you need to mention if you are enclosing something, if you are sending, sharing some other document along with it. Suppose it's a leave application and you are also uh, sharing the medical report. Okay, then you must mention it. Please find out the enclosed medical report. Okay, so in case of mail, you have to write, please find out the attachment. Please find out the attachment of this particular thing, of this particular file. And in case of a letter, in case of an application, if you are if you are sharing a hard copy, okay, if you are sharing a hard copy, then you have to mention it in this way. Please find out the enclosed and the name of the document. Okay, so is it clear, students? I hope now you're not going to make any kind of mistake. So leave application is a very easy one. Okay, it's very easy. So if you make a mistake, if you make certain mistakes while writing a leave application, so like you'll not be able to write any other application. So that is why it's very important to know how to write an application, and you need to know the format. Okay, so do not make any kind of mistakes, and check whether you have written it correctly or not, correct information. And also, generally you'll write an application in English, isn't it? Also check the sentences, Also check the spelling, punctuation, grammar, whether you have written it correctly or not. Okay, and regarding the information, again I'm repeating, do not give any incorrect information. If you are unsure regarding something, if you do not know something, try to find it out. Yet if you could not, then do not add any kind of false information. Okay, is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? Any questions?
No, ma'am.
So students, that's all for today. See you tomorrow. And once you have not yet delivered the presentation, be ready. Tomorrow you have to deliver your presentation. So thank you everyone. See you in the next class.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.